And to discuss this insecurity matter, we have Professor Olawale Albert, a security expert from the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution, joining us from Abuja. Good evening. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome. All right, straight to it. So, as a security expert, what's your view regarding the killing of innocent people in Benue State? Do you think this is an indication that security agencies have been overwhelmed?
Well, I think it is really worrisome that there is resumption of terror in Benue State. Because when we were having the last election in Benue State presidential election, the question that everybody was asking is who will rescue Benue communities? And I think it's within that framework that the people of Benue State decided to vote APC. Unfortunately, since Reverend Alia came to office, he has been presiding over funeral ceremonies. Now, the question is whether the military is overwhelmed. Well, when Governor Autumn was there, we said the military was overwhelmed. We said Autumn was the problem. But Autumn said severally that there are some powerful individuals behind this violence. Therefore, taking a look at what is happening and what happened in the past, I think we should now begin to look more critically within Benue State. That there are some interests within the state that are actually generating this problem. What I'm saying indirectly is that the military alone might not be able to deal with this problem if those actually creating tension within Benue State are not identified, are not fished out, and dealt with. So we're going to look at it from different corridors. Who are these people in Benue State that are not happy with the present situation? And then what is it that security agencies should do? The new service chiefs should see Benue State as a critical responsibility. Otherwise, this new government might not be different from the past government.
All right, thank you very much for your submission. So, looking from your answer, you think it is an internal problem. So, would you recommend sanctions for people that, the perpetrators of this violence?
Now, yes, before we begin to talk sanction, we must first identify who these people are. And I think we've spent too many years lamenting on lamentation. We have not actually been able to identify those behind this problem. And once we identify those behind the problem, then now we begin to talk, we begin to say sanction. Now, when you look at the killings, the patterns of the killings, I'm suspecting that the conflict issues are very deep because in the last 1 or 2 months, we've had situations where soldiers were killed. We have situations where children were cut into pieces. We have situations where women were beheaded. Now, when you look at the bestiality, the way these killings are done, it tells you that the issues are very deep. And until we are able to touch the intensity of the problem, until we are able to get to the heart of the problem, identify the stakeholders, we may not even be able to say we are punishing anybody. So the government should come into Benue State, not only with the military, but with secret service agencies that will come out with information on what is happening to Benue State. I think we don't understand what is happening to that state. And it is the responsibility of the government to do it.
All right. Now, President Bola Tinubu has given a directive regarding the matter. Do you think he is taking the right step, asking security agencies to fish out the miscreants?
Well, this idea of the president directing is a very bad legacy of the Buhari regime. Because Buhari spent all his years in office directing, and nothing came out of these directives. So, directing is to say that the security agencies themselves do not understand what they should be doing, and that they have to be directed by somebody to know that it is their responsibility to make Benue State safe. So, I would discourage the new regime in Nigeria. I would discourage the government of Ahmed Bola Tinubu to stop this rhetoric of directing. It is humiliating. So let the service chiefs be alive to their responsibility. They don't need to be directed by anybody. They were appointed to keep the state safe, and they should do the job.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. That was
Thank you so much.
Professor Olawale Albert, a security expert from the Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution. He joined us from Abuja. We go on a break now, and when we return, we'll be taking more stories. To stay with us.